Hey, everybody. Welcome to Girls on Pop. This is PopEater.com's weekly broadcast and part of AOL's network of broadcasts. I'm Brooke Tarnoff.
I'm Denise Warner.
And I'm Amber James.
And today we have another special guest. We have Pop Eater's new gossip columnist, Rob Shuter.
Hello, everybody. How are you, ladies?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Hello out there.
Thank you for coming, Rob.
It's a pleasure. First of many, I hope.
Oh, of course. Let's start, though, before we talk about Rob's amazing gossip items. I think the obvious first topic is Tiger Woods, no?
You can't avoid him. You can't get away from him.
Much as you might want
Wait,
to.
what did he do?
Well, Denise, let me fill you in.
Just 13 other women?
Counting.
He had intercourse with everyone, basically.
Except me.
I'm not
Yeah, I'm trying to
entirely
find
sure
my
of that
link.
at this point.
You know what it is, though? For as much as, it's funny, and it really is, funny, it's sort of sad, too. I feel really bad for the wife. And
I
what
feel
we're
terrible
missing
for her.
out here is that she's got 2 little kids. I can't imagine having your husband cheat on you, but can you imagine having that happen and the whole world finding out about it? It's a real serious issue. I don't want to be a downer, but, it's a tough time for her. What does she do? Does she talk? What does she do? Does she hide? What would
And
she do?
she moves home with her mother, I think is
Yeah.
what she does. I do agree with you. I mean, it's tragic. And we see this again and again in the public sphere where somebody very famous does something super naughty and it's a good, juicy news bit. And then you have to think about the
you do.
humanity of it. But in her case, he's not just
One woman.
one woman. He's not 2 women. He's not a few girlfriends. He's a serial cheater. And what Denise and I have said to each other numerous times is where there's, first it was 5, then 9, now it's 11, it's possibly 13. It's
maybe.
13 maybe. Where there's 13, there are 1,300.
Right. And the arrogance of it, to think that you're Tiger Woods and you can have sex with all these different women and get away with it. The arrogance and the ego of it just bugs me in a silly way. And the other thing too, let's be really honest, he's really dull. He's the most boring person in the world. Did you ever think we'd be sitting around talking about Tiger Woods? Never in a million years. Did you ever think you'd see Tiger Woods on the cover of Us Weekly? Never. And so suddenly, this guy is everywhere. And I think the best thing he could do if he wants to disappear is sit down and do a long interview and everybody will realize how boring he is and we'll all move on.
They'll be like, this is very salacious, but I can't keep my eyes open. So I have to turn this off.
Dull. And then these girls coming forward. There's a girl that did a tell-all this week that's on the cover of one of the weekly magazines. And she doesn't talk about Tiger in the interview. Why are we talking to you, idiot?
Denise,
I don't want to know about your dog. I want to know about Tiger.
Can you run down a couple of the heavy hitters for us? My favorite is Jamie Grubbs, personally.
Jamie Grubbs, she recently sold, I think, all of her text messages to one of the tabloids where, they're going back and forth about how he wants her to go undressed in a bathroom and send him pictures. And, he even texted her on Thanksgiving, a happy Thanksgiving text. It was terrible.
Was he texting while he was in the car? Is that
Probably.
Is that why he hit the lamppost?
This goes back to that whole big crazy thing is it's do celebrities really, are they that dumb that they think that all these text messages are just going to delete and they're gone forever?
I don't think it's dumb. I think it's arrogance. They think, or someone like Tiger thinks, that he's unstoppable, that he can do whatever he wants and he's going to have no repercussions. It really is. And at first it didn't, because remember at first all the sponsors came forward and said, we ain't dumping him, we love him, we love him, we love him. And then when it hit 10, 11, when now those sponsors, Nike just do it. Yeah. There's a very different meaning to that phrase now. I'm
Yeah, at one point it was let's let him keep his personal life personal. This has nothing to do with, really?
Yes. He said what?
Okay.
My question is, why did he get married at all? I don't understand.
To the most beautiful woman.
Yes, and have these beautiful babies.
Yes.
Those poor kids.
I feel bad for Elon a little bit. I feel bad, and yet at the same time, she knows that he is this massive superstar that's constantly surrounded by women, and it's how did 13 at least women did he have flings with? And she never suspected. She just kept putting it in the back of her. It's not really happening.
But
it's
he
weird.
travels for work.
Yeah. I think it's very easy to not know what's going on.
It's crazy. I had a little bit of experience. I travelled once with Bon Jovi, the rock group, and I was with them in...
Thank you for qualifying.
Sorry. I was in Atlanta with them. And I was standing at the base of the stage waiting for the show to begin. And I had a clipboard, which is a very bad thing to ever hold at a Bon Jovi concert because then you look official. And there was like these, I could see it at the corner of my eye, this like stream of women with big chests and little T-shirts on coming towards me to literally sort of like hit on me because I was a member of the entourage. I'm 25,000 people away from John.
Right.
Like, I'm further away from John than the drummer. I don't even know his name. But like Tico or someone. But they would have probably slept with me that day just to be part of this gang. And it's fascinating. These girls that, like roadies, is that what they're called? Like, it's fascinating that these women think that they can get close to sort of celebrity and fame by... I wouldn't sleep with Tiger Woods in a million years. He's gross.
He is gross. And I think for Elin, if you're marrying somebody, regardless of whether they're famous, you're going to want to think they're a human. You know, you're going to take them at their humanity at that level rather than their fame. Maybe if you're just screwing them because they're famous, it's one thing. But you walk down the aisle with them, you're pretty sure you're actually getting to the real person.
Would you leave him? If you were her, would you leave?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
That's a deal breaker. Cheating with 13
That's a deal breaker.
That's the
That's a deal breaker.
For me, like insulting my mother is a deal breaker. Like sleeping with 13 women.
Sit on the wrong position on the couch for me, you're gone.
Give me my remote back. No, sleeping with 13 women, there is no possible way.
And what about all the money stuff? Like, I don't know how much of it is true or not, but, you know, they had a prenup, and now there's rumours that he's negotiating if she stays married with him, she'll get more money, or they change the deal. Like, does it make any difference?
Why does he want to stay married to her? I don't understand. I guess it'll save his image. Is that what it is?
I think that, like just think of him as a man for a minute, not a star. I think cheaters like to go home to their wives.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
Draper.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it loses everything, I think, if he's single and
But
sleeping
you're not a
with all
cheater.
these
If you're
women.
single, you
Yeah,
can't
you're
be a
just
cheater.
dating.
You're just a slut.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, right?
Right.
So I'm just fascinated by some of these women and the different way they're handling it. Jamie Grubbs, to me, is the most interesting. She gave an interview with Extra talking about her overwhelming remorse toward Elin and said, I didn't do it to hurt her. Well, I would hope not. I mean, what kind of crazy woman does that simply to hurt the wife?
Well, then there's Rachel Yucatel, who's like, don't blame me. I'm not a whore. You know, I have feelings too. And I'm like,
I met Rachel once. She was at a club here in New York like months ago, and she's really very pretty and she has a lot of personality. But this is clearly a girl that wants to be famous. This is her moment. She is loving this, and that's the sad thing about it. Would you, like, honestly, I think I wouldn't interview them. Like, if one of these, like, girls came out the wood, I don't even know their names. If one of them was like, can we talk to you on Pop It? I'd be like, ugh, girl, I don't want to. The only one I want to talk to is the wife. I don't want to talk to Tiger. I want to talk to that wife. Like, if I was Barbara Walters and I had one of those people on my couch, it would be the wife.
Yeah.
And if he dares drag that wife onto Oprah to sit next to him when he does the interview.
oh my God.
oh my God.
I know.
Could happen.
Silda
It's just,
Spitzer.
you know, the remorse thing, the don't blame me, I'm not a tramp, I'm not a fame whore.
Yes, they all are.
Yeah, of course they
because,
are.
like we said, there've got to be hundreds of other women who are just not
coming out.
forward.
Yeah. And for this woman to say, I'm so remorseful, and then she admits that the reason that she came out of the woodwork is because she found out there were other girlfriends. To me, that was the, like, how old are you? Honestly,
That's
I mean,
gross.
you mean no harm to Elin. You mean no harm to Tiger, but you found out he had other girlfriends, so you came out to the public to talk about your affair if you really didn't want to hurt Elin and you realized it was over.
But he told her he loved her.
Oh.
So, I mean, come on.
And it's been going on a while. Like, what, like, I'm sure she's told all her friends, like, you know, like sleeping with a celebrity, I'm sure she's told all her friends for like years that she's sleeping with Tiger Woods.
Of course.
Like, if he hadn't hit that damn hydrant, we still
would be
wouldn't
still
care less.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
wouldn't care less. The fact that he actually had a car accident suddenly, then we were interested in the girls you've slept with. It's really odd that it just sort of climaxed in this sort of perfect storm where these girls for years have been sleeping with him and nobody cared because we're like, oh, Tiger's so boring. We don't care.
Maybe he did it on purpose.
Oh.
He wanted to shake it up.
Oh.
No.
He knows he's boring. I don't know. I mean, much as I don't want to give tips to cheaters out there, guys and gals, don't put it in writing. Don't have text messages. Don't have emails. Use your phone. Erase your call history.
If I went through your text messages, I'm not saying you're a cheater, darling, but if I went through your text messages, that, you know what, though? We all put things that we shouldn't really say in a text. Like, I've said some really saucy things in a text and like, you know what I mean? Like if you read my text, it's almost like the new way of talking. Like I'd rather text than talk now. In fact, we should do this whole pod broadcast texting. Yeah.
This reminds me of 30 Rock when Jenna refers to a regular text as a business sext.
Careful what you put out there. Careful what you put out there. Like it's gonna, it's gonna come back.
If you are married and you are sleeping with 13 plus women, don't do it via text. Yes, we all have things in our text.
How many
mine
weeks
is squeaky
is this
clean.
going to last? Like I wrote it in the column, I think yesterday or the day before, that People and Us Weekly put Tiger on the cover last week, not this week, and they were huge sellers. Like I think it could be one of the biggest People magazine covers of the year. And because of that, all the other magazines see the numbers each week. So on Monday, if I'm the editor of In Touch and I'm closing my magazine, guess who I'm going to put on the cover? Tiger. So it's going to keep going. Like, remember Kate Gosselin? What was it? 7 consecutive weeks on the cover of Us Weekly.
Yeah.
Is Tiger going to beat her?
No, I don't think
gonna go.
Tiger's going to beat Kate Gosselin, but I do think anecdotally on Pop Eater, this has at least a few weeks worth of legs.
Yeah.
People keep clicking.
I think he could give Kate a run for
You
her
think?
money. I think so. There's much more to this story than those two and their divorce.
And potentially it could continue to unfold up to the 400s.
right.
Right.
You
You never know how many
right,
women.
Right.
But
And-
will we become saturated at a point? When we
Yes.
hit like woman 320, are we going to be like, we don't even care.
I don't care.
don't care anymore.
I think I don't care already. Am I too fast to move on?
No.
I think
No.
I think we all should move on for Elon's sake.
Yeah, for Elon's sake, we're sorry.
Sorry, Elon. We're not going to talk about that man anymore.
He's dreadful. So, but let's talk about your good gossip because you have some really nice, happy news
Yeah,
to
it's
share
a
with us.
really great news. A couple of years ago, a friend of mine told me that Reese and Jake were dating, and I was the first person to break that story that they were a couple. The same person told me, and that's why I wrote it in the column because I think this is really real and strong. The same sort.
Did John Bon Jovi tell you this?
He's a rock star. just to let you feel.
Sorry,
He
go
sings
on.
that song.
So I have a story that I think Reese is going to get a little surprise this Christmas. And I think if she looks under a Christmas tree, she might see a little blue Tiffany box. And in that box is going to be a big diamond ring.
There was so much suspense. I was wondering what was going to be in the box.
Some diamond earrings.
A piece of coal.
Yeah, Tiger Woods at the box.
A small puppy, maybe?
I love these couple. I love these two. They look like they
Yes.
should be on
They
top of
are
a wedding
so
cake. You know,
cute.
the our generation's Mickey and Judy. Like they look
Yes.
little like.
She gets prettier and prettier,
And
too.
he's dreamy.
He is
Those
dreamy.
big puppy eyes of his.
I know.
They're the cutest damn couple. And when I see them with her children, they look like a family already. So what's going on? And she's a traditional, very lovely Southern belle.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a lady that has a man living with her that doesn't have a ring on her finger. I think it's going to be a perfect fit. And I hope they don't end up like many other Hollywood couples. And we're talking about them in a horrible way in a couple of weeks. I want them to be happy and in love. Pop the question and Reese say yes, 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 yes.
Let's hope he doesn't save his text messages.
Can you imagine if she says
Cynical.
no?
She would never.
Why'd you say that?
Because he's beautiful. He's like Tobey Maguire if you put him in the perfection machine.
He's such an upgrade from Ryan Phillippe.
I
oh
hated
my
him.
gosh.
I
me
hated
too.
him.
I hated it. It
Yeah.
was so wrong for Reese.
He just looks like a D-bags.
He does, but Reese said it like she was very young when she married him.
Yes.
Who hasn't been 21 and looked at some hot guy or girl and been like, oh, that's cute, I'll marry him. And then you figure out, hey, this isn't the guy for me. What I love about Reese and Jake, they've been dating for 2 years. They really know each other. They know each other's faults. They know each other's flaws. They know each other's great sides. Like, this is a strong couple, and I think they've been dating 2 years, get married, we'll come to the wedding, we'll run the pictures on Pop Eater, and we're all happy, happy, happy.
Now, let me ask you something. You know this scoop, and John Bon Jovi knows this scoop. But
I'm never going to be able to shake John off now. Sorry, John.
Did
Sorry.
did you just give us a spoiler to Reese herself? Does she know she's getting a little blue box with a tiny puppy in it?
No. I would guess, and your ladies, you tell me, when your man's about to propose,
You know.
You know.
Sure.
She might pretend, and remember, this is a very good actress. Like, she can act very surprised. So Reese practiced the face all day in the mirror. Like, surprised, Reese. Look surprised.
I think that's great news. And she's one of those people that I think that the divorce was unkind to her. I didn't have an overwhelmingly negative feeling about Ryan Phillippe after. I don't really know the
I don't
details.
even know who he
but
is. Like, you know, like
yeah, he's
he
kind of
could be
nobody.
sitting in this room and I might not know. I know he was sort of famous and I might recognise him, but he could be Levi Johnson. I don't know. Like, you know, I know I sort of recognise him, but he could be The Bachelor. Like, I
Right.
don't really know who he is.
You're mildly attractive and your hair is doing
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
so.
spiky hair. And I think I've never seen. Can you name one movie he's done? I don't know really.
Cruel Intentions.
Oh,
That's where,
yes.
isn't that where they met?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And she said she pursued him. Like when she met him at her birthday party.
bulldog.
And she said to a friend, "Here's my
Yes.
gift. That's what I want for my birthday."
I remember this
Reese
story.
is not a pushover. Like what I love about Reese is she's one of those girls that is beautiful, is blonde, and she's smart, and she's not a bimbo. Like she doesn't tone herself down. She doesn't pretend to be stupid. And I think that's
Yeah.
great for women. You can have it all. You can be beautiful. You can be smart. You don't have to be dumb. And Reese is like that great example of a woman who knows what she wants and gets it. And she's got herself Jake.
Yay.
Kudos. Yeah,
Merry
good for you.
Christmas.
I need some
Love it.
tips from her.
I know, me too.
I need some makeup tips from her. Have you ever seen her skin? It's like insane.
Flawless.
Perfect.
It's
Flawless. I don't
ridiculous.
think she has pores. Like, you know, she's like, there's nothing. It's
Yeah,
just.
she's like a Barbie. made of
Reese, we love you.
perfect
We
plastic.
love you. We love you, Reese Pieces.
On that note, let's talk about a feature that we just put up on Pop Eater about the dance moves relative to each other of three of the hottest young blondie pop stars. A lot has been said about the performance, the singing, the new records of Britney, Carrie Underwood, and Lady Gaga. I don't think we've really talked about their dancing in depth before. And so we put up this feature comparing their new videos and how they perform. And Lady Gaga is the winner.
Oh, you sound like Bruno from Dancing with the Stars.
I do?
Yes, we give you a 9, Miss Gaga.
I'll be honest. The first time I watched Bad Romance, and then the 9th time and the 900th time, I find her
Just like the
dancing.
women.
Right,
Sorry.
exactly. I'm Tiger Woods' mistresses of Gaga. That didn't work. I found the dancing where she's super kooky, wearing her rubber sea monkey suit, to be weird enough that technique doesn't even come into it. How can you judge her technique when she's making claws? I found the more traditional dance moves slightly awkward, but people seem to really respond.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because she's up against like Britney, who is kind of lost it a little bit. I mean, she's gained it back. But then there's Carrie Underwood, who does not look comfortable dancing at
True.
all.
True.
She
But these are their videos.
their videos.
People still make videos. Where do you watch a video apart from Pop Eater? Like people still make. I've not seen a video since Thriller. Like,
think online.
AOL Music?
Right.
AOL Music,
Sorry.
YouTube.
AOL.
I think
I gotta get out of the house now.
people watch them online now. I mean, that the internet has everything you might want. Wicca whatever,
Right.
videos.
Right.
Do people watch them on TV? I don't know.
I
But
don't
people
know
watch
anymore.
them.
I miss watching them on TV though. I used to love MTV when they
Rob,
played
they're still
videos.
there.
They are which channel? Like 459? If I had to go past channel 10, it ain't happening.
If it's not on my DVR, it's not happening.
Yeah, I'm
but
not gonna go.
You can still find them on your television box
Oh.
if you want, or you can.
Fuse plays videos. That is, yeah, that's
well,
right.
you can crank up the Google machine,
Ooh.
and anything you need can be found on the Google.
I shall look forward to seeing Carrie Underwood bust a move.
So she busts a move in her kind of like funky country way, and it's cute.
Yeah, she's adorable. There's nothing wrong with Carrie Underwood.
No, she's just not a dancer.
I just feel like dancing really isn't her thing. I mean, what made her famous was her voice on American Idol, and you know, when I see her dancing, I feel like she's trying way too hard to fit into like the pop princess or
Right.
fill like some type of gap.
It's somewhat awkward. Like you cringe when you see these people who you know their record label have said like you've got to become a dancer, like Alicia
Right.
Keys. I love you,
right.
little girl. Sit
Yes.
behind the piano. Like you know their record label's like get out from behind the piano and dance, and they're like, ooh, it's like that awkward uncle at a bar mitzvah.
Just
Like,
put them back behind the piano
yeah,
where they belong.
Yes, you don't have to be a dancer. Like sit,
Yeah.
we listen to your music, we love you. Sit down.
And there are certainly certain artists that are great to look at, great to listen to, but we don't want to see them in that light. Like, can you picture Kelly Clarkson really like full out busting and choreographed?
Oh, the thought
don't
of
even.
Susan Boyle. Oh, my God. Oh, doing a conga. Oh.
Actually-
backup dancers.
Oh.
I would pay more money than I currently have to see Susan Boyle doing the conga or like the bunny hop.
Do you know how rich Susan Boyle is now?
A lot.
A lot of rich?
$9
She's a lot.
million.
Oh my God.
$9 million.
Wow.
I feel
Hey, I
like-
can sing.
like-
Why don't I have I can.
Wasn't she unemployed?
Yeah, and living in a council flat. What do you call that in America? Community housing? What's it called?
Yeah,
Project or whatever.
at the project.
Yeah, so she's living in a project in Scotland, just outside like Glasgow, in a little house for pussycat.
I
And now
can-
mommy's got 9
I love
million.
it. I can talk in an accent. I can gain a lot of weight. I can.
$9 million.
I
What's
can
she
move
going to
to
do
the
with it?
projects. And I can sing. Why can't I have my 9 million? All right, Susan Boyle. But so let's talk about Britney. She did the video for 3, which is a dirty song about threesomes, and people were finding it a little bit lackluster. She's definitely come back from the performance.
Brit's back. I think she keeps trying to shock us, or she keeps trying to be relevant so hard that, you know,
It's falling flat a little.
sweetie, you shaved your head. You can't top it. Like, you can't top it, Britney. Give up. You've shocked us. Like, what else is she going to do now? Like, done. You win the prize. Like, I don't get it. Like, all these songs are. I like the old shit that she does, and
Yeah.
like this new stuff. Like, I don't know. What's the poor thing going to do now? Just make records now? Like, now her tour's ended. I'm worried about you, Britney.
Go
Like,
on tour again.
Yeah.
Is it almost like it's like a sort of like a child that you have to keep like a shiny object distracted? And like, I'm worried that now Britney's not got like distraction, shiny object Britney. Now she's sitting at that house again in LA, and it starts to feel like, oh God.
I just think that Britney's best strategy would be to go in a new direction rather than pushing harder on the direction she's already been in. She's not ever going to recapture that not yet a woman feel, because she has 2 children and she's been married 4,000 times. So she can't do the naughty schoolgirl thing anymore, because now though she's very young, she has effectively made herself a woman mommy. So doing a dirty song about having sex with bunches of people at once it's going to fall flat
Right.
because she's a mom.
Right.
We've seen her in a new light. Do another ballad.
Right.
Be pretty. Sing. And maybe lay off the big choreographed dances for a while if people aren't really feeling them.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I think that dance phase is gone for a little bit. Now it's sort of, I don't know, it's sort of like calmer and more peaceful. Like, give me a ballad, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, calm
Just stand
down.
there and sing.
Yeah.
Walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
Wave to the audience.
Yes. Do like
Good
an
night.
old school Mariah Carey.
It's
Like,
tricky. Like,
ooh.
I don't know what the there's no roadmap now for Britney. Like, she's become so famous and she's so successful at such a young age. Like, what does she do next? Like, you know, pop careers historically last a very short period of time, and there's only one Madonna. And you know what happened? There's a million Deborah Gibsons. Like, what happens to this girl now? Like, she's really famous. She's got more money than God. And you understand why they turn to drugs and drinking, because like they're sort of like, can you imagine the peak of your success, your own career, and you're 21, and then it's all downhill? Like, it's really hard for her to figure out what next. Like,
Yes.
what would she do next? But what I think will save her is she is a mommy. Like, that's what she does next. Look after those kids.
Buy an island. Move there.
She needs to get married too. Oh, I like Jason. He's a good addition.
yes.
Oh,
And they look good together.
They
Like,
do look
she's
good
been
together.
She
looking
looks
so
good.
great.
And he looks better since he used to be a little tubby, not
Yeah.
fat, but he's lost like 10 pounds since he's been dating Miss
Yep.
Britney. He's probably running around after those kids. Like, but he's lost weight. They look like really good together. I hope they get married.
I know. Actually, I hope they date for a really long time.
Like
and then
Reese and
get married.
Jake.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, how much respect would you have for Britney if she didn't run off and marry this guy because he's the next guy she's dating? If they actually date, they cohabitate, they take the kids to the park, then they get married.
Very nice.
I would love it.
I don't really think that I can give Britney any respect
No,
anymore.
it's hard, but
I still like her. I hope she marries him too.
yeah. She does a nice puppet. She does what she's supposed to do. And we never stop talking about her, which after
10 years.
10 years,
It's unbelievable.
Crazy.
Like, you know what? It's about her too. She's like America's pop princess. We love her. We want her to like be well. Like,
well,
I really do.
I think we want her to
fail.
fail and we want her to
Yeah.
succeed in maybe equal measures.
Yeah, I think
and whatever
you're
she
right.
does is fascinating
I
to
think
us.
you're right.
Which, good for her. This like,
I think you're right.
Southern
I've been watching on
kid.
TV though. Have you seen these commercials for her fragrance? Like, they're running them like
oh,
crazy.
God.
But they're old
I know
too,
Britney's
right?
like 12 in these
yeah.
commercials.
My
They're
favorite
like
part-
really old.
Okay, so it's for her fantasy perfume, and the premise of the commercial is a hunter saw a beautiful princess, and he like went a little crazy, and he couldn't help himself, and he totally shot her with a love arrow. But like everybody has a fantasy, really. That's your fantasy?
That's Britney's fantasy. It's,
Like,
They should
really?
update those commercials.
That is the
Yeah.
most boring
Update
fantasy I've ever heard
those
in my life.
commercials.
It kind of reminds me of the Victoria's Secret commercial where they're talking about like fantasy panties. Like, really? Your fantasy is underwear? That is cutting edge. Wow.
That's
You
my
are-
fantasy. I don't know.
Underpants.
That's what I think about.
That's the best you can do in this entire world of experiences. Underpants. All right, whatever. Go Victoria's Secret and Britney. But I do, speaking of underwear and Britney, I wanted to talk also about a feature that we put up about the year's most overexposed
John
celebrities.
Gosling.
And he
Is it
And he
not?
won.
When he
did
won.
win. Did.
Yep.
Big. What was it, the percentage?
He won by 56%.
Wow.
Who was second? Was it like tiny? Like 10% was the next one? Or?
I think it was Levi,
Levi
Johnston.
Way overexposed.
Although he's so cute. I
I
can't
got the
help it.
nastiest email this morning from
Denise.
Levi's manager.
No, really?
Screaming about the item on Pop Eater today about his Playgirl shoot being a bust. Nobody went on and
Hey.
did anyone in this room go on? I didn't.
Facts is facts. No, nobody here saw
We
it.
saw them for free somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. You know they're not doing well
haven't
when they
even
give
seen
it
them for
away.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
When they
they've
give,
been.
I saw them like when you start giving that stuff away. Sorry, you know there's
Censors.
trouble. You know there's trouble. 90, and do you know how much they cost? $19.95 for a month. Playgirl doesn't exist. It isn't. The magazine's gone.
Yeah,
so it's
it's an
playgirl.com,
online-
which we love because we're all onliners in this room. But
Yes.
$19.95 to see Levi, and he's not even naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not paying $20 to see Levi Johnston. Second, I'm not paying $20 to not see everything of Levi Johnston. I
Right.
mean, if I'm paying the $20, I want to see
wanna
what the
see it
business
all.
is.
Right.
And the fact that they're out there for free and I forgot that they were published and haven't gone to look for them, I think says everything about
Says
this.
it.
Not because I am so desperate to see Levi Johnston's business, but it's a curiosity.
It
We've
is.
been
Did
talking
you
about
read,
it for months.
Page 6 said the reason he didn't show his business was because he is not the biggest Mr. Johnson in the world. Which makes me believe if you're not the most large gentleman,
Why are
don't
you
be
going
shooting for Playgirl.
Why would you do this, Levi? You are a
Well, maybe he's a
fool.
grower and not a shower.
Oh, yeah.
well.
On that note.
Okay, but let's talk about the women. I had a point to make,
who
and
won-
you
who
know what?
won
I'll
the
just make it when the
overexposed?
cameras are off. I think.
Yeah.
Who won the overexposed women?
That would be Lady Gaga.
Which is too bad because I love her so much.
I don't know anything. I know who she is. I'm not, like, but I can't name one of her songs. Sorry, I don't. I just think she's become like this sort of like Boy Georgie sort of crazy like.
Denise and I just had some
dress-up.
out and out
Sorry. She's not my
Gaga.
girl. She's not my girl.
You need to get on that action. I can't imagine that you won't like it.
I won't like her. I like,
No, you are a
Really?
liar.
I
You are
won't, I
wrong.
won't do it. I won't do it. I like Angelique. I like people who make movies. I like to like know my stars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I know who. I don't know what she does. She's like another one of those people that sort of like is around that we're talking about. But what do you do?
She's an enigma wrapped in a dancing pop beat.
Yes. Yeah. So they think she's overexposed. Who came next? Who else did bug them?
You know what? Let's find out.
I think it was Miley Cyrus.
Miley.
Yeah,
Miley's being a bad girl.
Miley, by a very narrow margin. Lady Gaga got 24% of the vote. Miley Cyrus got 23%, and the next one down was 17%. Tied with Megan Fox,
Now,
who
did
I thought would win.
Oh.
Because I am sick to death of Megan and all of her
And no
stupid
Kate
inanities.
Gosselin? No Kate Gosselin on this?
Was she at the bottom?
So John's overexposed, but
Let's
Kate
find
isn't. Isn't that interesting? So
Wow.
it's like she's just as out there as her ex-husband, but so John's overexposed, but Kate isn't. So
She wasn't on the list. That was my fault.
her note to self.
I know.
Two demerits for Denise.
I know, pretty much.
But the fact
Denise is fired today.
That's all right.
No, I mean, I think that given the way our audience has responded and the way we have felt about it lately, Kate took the high road enough at the end of this debacle that I think people really did get the Gosselin fatigue pointed straight at John.
Right, well, he
and
couldn't
all of
have-
his ridiculous.
He couldn't have messed it up more. Like, you know, even if she did terrible things, which she probably did, he
Sure.
was such a douche that
He bungled every
I mean, when you're hanging out with Michael Lohan, you know no good can come of this.
Hallelujah, brother.
You know no
I
good.
swear he was like outside all these like entertainment news, sites like banging on the door. Please do an interview with me.
Please,
I mean, I'm John
please.
Gosselin. Come on.
Please.
Plus, Michael Lohan, the
Father of the year.
the stargazing power of the two of those together. Yeah, Father of the Year, Michael Lohan. The two of them, like, up against the glass at all of the media outlets being like,
Oh,
can we come in?
yeah.
Please, it's cold.
Oh, gross.
God, well, it is cold if you're a douche.
To be fair, John and Kate were also voted the most overexposed couple
They
of
were
the year.
definitely.
Well, that's fair.
probably the news story of the year, though. Like, if as the year wraps down and we think about what this year's been for celebrities and entertainment,
Goslings.
It's Gosling.
Goslings.
I mean, Tiger came at the end and is
Sure.
definitely like the horse on the inside track. Is that what people say? Like galloping up to them. But at the moment, it's John and Kate. It's their year of gossip. Like it really is. They're our benefit of the year. They're our,
Yeah.
they're this year's story.
Yes,
It's
they
so
are.
weird that like the biggest stars this year were ones that really haven't even done anything to be famous. And I mean, I think that says a lot about our culture
Right.
too. We want the
Yes.
drama. We want all the craziness.
Kardashians were huge. There was a lot of Kardashian traction.
Absolutely.
Michael Jackson,
Right,
that went
that's
on
your
for a
trend.
very long
That's
time.
that's
Yeah.
still.
And that, I think, is actually the runner-up to the Goslings, I would say, as far as stories that people continue to click on. And, you know, we hear this internally. We hear it from other people. Why do you continue to cover them? Well, it's because people continue.
We
to
can't
click
not
those
do
links.
it. Sorry.
People want to see it.
I mean, it's a vicious cycle. They want to read it.
Exactly,
We
yeah.
have to write it. And then they're like, why are you still paying attention to them? Why
Right.
are these
Well,
people famous?
because-
well, because
sadly, people are still hungry
But you
for the
still think,
information.
so you still think though John and Kate top Michael as the story of the year as far as traffic wise or as interest? I think it's probably true.
I think
traffic, it's kind of a
50-50.
I just think it lasted longer.
It lasted
well
long- it
for
was very
obvious
prolonged.
reasons.
right.
Because he died and then that was it.
Right.
Well, not it, but I mean,
unfortunately,
it's
it really
very hard,
wasn't
right,
because that
it's
funeral
very-
happened
yeah.
9 years
oh,
after
I
his
know
death.
that's true.
right.
But I think it started and it was such a quick upstart for them. It was like they came out of nowhere and suddenly they blew up.
It was a
Whereas
show no one
Michael
watched.
Jackson, was Michael Jackson.
Right.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see what next year, like what we think is like. You can never predict this stuff. Like if someone had asked me John and Kate a year ago, I wouldn't know who they
No,
would be.
of
Who are
course.
they? Like and
Of
now,
course.
it's fascinating.
I think this year Pink will grow a new arm. And we'll all be talking. And then
Well, do you know what else? The story I loved this year, Octomom.
Octomom is
I totally forgot about her.
Oh, I loved it. Love that story.
Completely just.
What could you possibly have loved about the
It was
Octomom?
just delicious. Like she just kept going and going. They're like the Energizer bunnies. Like they just won't stop. It's just every day there's another revelation. But that's another example there of someone that really blew up fast and is kind of gone now. Like we don't hear about her anymore.
That story had to fizzle out.
Right.
What else
do you know?
was
Do you
there
know? Do you know
to tell?
the sign of it? The sign when they're over is when the paps stop following them. Like when there's not 20 photographers outside their house anymore.
Yeah.
You know it's done.
Yeah.
You know it's done. And so I
Well,
don't think they're following Octomom
They're
anymore.
all around the window here, so our star is rising. That's not true. That was great, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Thank you. And thank you, Rob, for joining us
Thank
this
you
week.
for
having me,
joining.
ladies.
Thanks for
You were much
coming.
nicer than the ladies at The View, let me just say.
Well, we try.
Because we let each other talk.
Sometimes. Guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.